A woman wakes up at 3 a.m. She can't move, can't scream, and standing at the foot of her bed is a shadow figure watching her. She's not lying, she's not crazy, and she's definitely not alone. Millions of people report the exact same experience in every country, every culture, going back thousands of years. So here's the question nobody wants to actually answer. If ghosts aren't real, then what exactly are all these people seeing? Let's find out. That paralyzed woman's experience has a name: sleep paralysis. Your brain wakes up before your body does. Normally, when you dream, your brain deliberately shuts off movement in your muscles, a safety switch so you don't act out your dreams. Sometimes, consciousness returns before that switch flips back. You're awake, aware, and completely frozen. Your brain, confused and half dreaming, often fills the room with a hallucinated presence. Cultures everywhere have named this demon. Science just calls it a wiring glitch between sleep and waking. Next, pareidolia. Your brain is a pattern recognition machine, and its favorite pattern is faces. A weird shadow on the wall at midnight, apparently also a face. This is why ghost sightings spike in dim lighting, in old houses, in places you already expect something to jump out. Then there's infrasound, sound waves too low for human ears to consciously hear. Old buildings, humming pipes, and certain wind patterns can produce it. Infrasound vibrates your eyeball, subtly distorting your vision, and can trigger deep, unexplainable dread. Researchers have recreated haunted room experiences in labs using nothing but a speaker playing 19 hertz. And don't forget carbon monoxide poisoning, an odorless gas that causes hallucinations and a crushing sense of being watched. Some of history's most infamous haunted house cases were later traced back to leaking gas lines. The ghost wasn't in the house, it was in the air. Your brain has an agency detection system, wired with a very specific bias. It would rather be wrong 100 times than miss one real threat. Imagine an early human hearing a rustle in tall grass. Assume just the wind, and you're wrong, you're dead. Assume predator, and you're wrong, you just flinched for nothing. Evolution ran this trade-off endlessly, and the winning strategy was clear. Assume agency, assume something's watching. That bias never left us. It's why you feel someone's behind you in an empty hallway or watched in an old house at night. Your brain isn't seeing a ghost, it's running ancient survival software in a world that no longer needs it. Add grief, and it gets more powerful. Studies on bereavement suggest more than half of people report sensing, hearing, or even seeing a deceased loved one shortly after their death. Psychologists now recognize this as a normal part of grieving. Your brain, so used to a person's presence, keeps generating them out of pure habit and longing. Ghosts aren't a Western thing or a horror movie invention. Every culture in recorded history has some version of the restless dead. Ancestors, spirits, revenants, uri, boots, poltergeists. That kind of universal pattern usually means one thing. It's not cultural, it's cognitive, built into how human brains work. Ghost stories also solve a very human problem: the terror of nothingness. A ghost story says death isn't an ending, just a change of address, deeply comforting for a brain that struggles to model its own non-existence. That's a big reason these stories get passed down for generations, almost like a coping mechanism baked into folklore. There's a social layer too: contagion. Once one person says, "Did you feel that?" everyone else's brain starts scanning harder for confirmation. That's why haunted house tours work so well. Not everything gets a clean explanation. Some reported experiences are genuinely hard to pin down, but we don't have the full answer yet is very different from, therefore, it's a ghost. Across a century of investigation, verified paranormal evidence has never held up under controlled conditions, while natural explanations keep quietly solving case after case. What's left isn't proof of spirits, it's proof of something arguably more interesting: how astonishingly good the human brain is at constructing entire experiences: sight, sound, dread, presence out of biology, instinct, and grief. So next time you feel that cold spot, that shadow in the corner of your eye, that sense of being watched in an empty room, you're not broken, and you're not imagining it out of nowhere. You're experiencing one of the most powerful survival tools evolution ever built, just firing in a world that doesn't need it anymore. The ghosts were never in the house. They were in you all along. If this made you rethink every haunted story you've ever heard, hit subscribe, because next time we're asking an even weirder question. Why does deja vu feel like a memory that hasn't happened yet? See you in the next one.